This is not just a press conference anymore. This is a tactical warning, a psychological battle, and a preview of what might decide the entire Premier League season. Because when Pep Guardiola speaks ahead of a game like this, you are not just listening to words, you are listening to clues. And if you connect those clues properly, you start to see the game before it even kicks off. Let us start with the simplest part and build from there. Ruben Dias is out. That matters, because Dias is not just a defender, he is the organiser, the communicator, the one who controls the defensive line. Without him, Manchester City lose a layer of stability. They lose leadership at the back. And against a team like Arsenal, that becomes a real problem. Because Arsenal do not just attack randomly, they target spaces, they manipulate defensive lines, they force mistakes. So already, before the game even begins, there is a potential weakness. Now flip to Pep's mindset. He refuses to call this his greatest potential achievement. And that tells you something important. He does not see this season as finished, he sees it as incomplete, still developing, still learning, and that directly affects how City will approach this game. They will not play safe, they will not sit back and protect, they will play to impose, to test, to stretch Arsenal. Because for Pep, this is not just about winning the game, it is about understanding his team at the highest level under pressure. Now let us break the game itself down. Pep says it clearly, if they lose, it is over. So what does that mean tactically? It means Manchester City cannot approach this like a cautious away team. They have to take risks, they have to push forward, they have to create situations where they can win the game, not just avoid losing it. That immediately creates two possible game states. If City start aggressively, pressing high, committing numbers forward, they open space behind them. And that is exactly where Arsenal are most dangerous. In transition, quick, direct, clinical. If City hold back and play controlled possession, they risk allowing Arsenal to stay compact, organised and comfortable. And Arsenal in structure are extremely difficult to break down. So Pep is balancing risk versus control. And that is where the midfield battle becomes everything. Because in these types of games, the team that controls midfield tempo controls the match. Pep hinted at something very important when he talked about not being able to dominate for 95 minutes. That means he knows there will be phases where Arsenal are on top. The question is, what happens in those phases? When Arsenal press high, they are one of the most aggressive pressing teams in Europe. They force turnovers, they win second balls, they suffocate build-up. Pep even said it himself. Arsenal allow you one or two passes and then they take the ball. So if City try to build slowly from the back, Arsenal will press them into mistakes. But if City go long, they enter a different battle. Second balls, physical duels, chaos. And again, Pep highlighted this. Arsenal are very strong in second ball situations. So either way, City are under pressure. Now flip it. When City have control, when they build through midfield, when they start moving the ball quickly, that is where Arsenal can be tested. Because City's strength is positional play, overloads, pulling players out of position, creating gaps. And here is where the absence of Dias becomes important again. If City dominate possession, their defensive line will be higher, more exposed, more vulnerable to quick transitions. And Arsenal thrive in exactly that situation. Now let us talk about the wide areas. Pep did not say it directly, but when he talks about Arsenal's build-up and transitions, he is hinting at something. Arsenal attack through width and then cut inside. City defend with structure, but without Dias, the communication between fullbacks and centre-backs becomes critical. One mistimed step, one missed runner, one moment of hesitation. That is all Arsenal need. Now bring in the psychological layer. Pep speaks about confidence like it is the most important factor. And he is right, because in games like this, tactics get you into position. Confidence allows you to execute. A pass under pressure, a finish in a tight moment, a defensive decision when everything is happening fast. Those moments are not just about ability, they are about belief. And right now, both teams have reasons to believe. City believe because they have been here before. They know how to close seasons. They know how to handle pressure. Arsenal believe because they have been the best team this season. They have been consistent. They have built something real. But there is one psychological factor Pep highlighted that cannot be ignored. 20 plus years without a title. That is not just history. That is weight. Because if this game becomes tight, if it becomes tense, if it goes deep into the second half with everything on the line, that pressure does not disappear. It grows. And City know that. Now let us talk about how the game might actually play out. The first 20 to 30 minutes will be crucial. City will likely start aggressively, trying to control possession, trying to dictate tempo. Arsenal will look to disrupt, press, force mistakes, win the ball high. If Arsenal score early, the entire dynamic changes. City are forced to open up even more and the game becomes stretched. That favours Arsenal. If City score early, Arsenal are pushed into a situation where they have to take risks, and that opens space for City's control and combinations. If it stays 0-0 for a long time, then it becomes a mental game. Patience, discipline, who makes the first mistake, and that is where experience matters. Now, Pep also hinted at something very subtle when he said Arteta will adjust. That is key, because this is not just Pep's game to control. This is a chess match between two managers who know each other extremely well. Mikel Arteta understands Pep's system. He has worked within it. He knows the patterns, the triggers, the ideas. So whatever City plan, Arsenal will have prepared for it. And whatever Arsenal bring, Pep will expect adaptation. That is why this game will not be decided by one tactical plan. It will be decided by in-game adjustments. Who reacts faster? Who reads the game better? Who makes the right substitutions at the right time? Now bring it down to individuals. Pep said it clearly. It comes down to duels, 1 versus 1. In games like this, systems get you into the fight. Individuals win it. A defender winning a crucial challenge. A midfielder escaping pressure. A forward taking a half chance. Those moments define everything. And that is why Pep refuses to simplify it. Because he knows how unpredictable football can be. You can dominate and lose. You can struggle and win. You can control the game and still concede one moment that changes everything. So when he says, if we play like the second half, we will be closer, he is not guaranteeing anything. He is acknowledging probability, not certainty. And that is the reality of this game. So what does all of this mean? It means this is not just a big game. This is a game of margins, small tactical details, small psychological edges, small individual moments, all building toward one outcome, and that outcome could define the entire season. Because if Manchester City win, they pull Arsenal back into the fight, they send a message, they shift momentum. If Arsenal win, they take control, not mathematically, but psychologically. They prove they can beat City when it matters most, and that changes everything. So when you listen to Pep Guardiola in that press conference, calm, controlled, almost relaxed, do not be fooled. He knows exactly what is coming. A battle of tactics, a battle of mentality, a battle of moments, and somewhere in those 90 minutes, one team will take control of the title race. The only question is, who handles it better when it matters most?